conversation is going round. People talking about the colors come to town. Fresh as a summer breeze, she'll take you by surprise.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Freshwaves here on Whistle FM. We have a wonderful show lined up today. It's a show that I look forward to every year. Every year I can honestly say that I am the first program on Whistle FM to play Christmas music.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay. We will not start playing Christmas music as of today all the time, but this show is about Christmas decorating. It's about planning in advance. It's also about setting a mood. And when we talk about decorating our homes for the Christmas season, a lot of that is to create a mood, because there's all kinds of ways you can decorate, from red and green and Santas and really traditional things, little ornaments with sleighs, to very high-tech kind of a look of all chrome and gold and silver and things like that. So it's to everyone's individual taste, and setting the mood for Christmas Day or the Christmas holidays with music is also incredibly important. But before we do any of that, we have to say thank you to Reese's Market and Bakery, and we have to give a big thank you to Ivan Harris and Jay Rumball for doing all the behind the scenes tech stuff.
It's our pleasure.
And a big shout out to my goddaughter Jamie, who is working in England, and she's having her dinner listening to this show. And Jamie, it's her birthday today. So in honor of her birthday, we will hear from the Arrogant Worms and the happy birthday song. You're listening to Fresh Waves on Whistle FM, and we'll be back with Jolana Pettifer right after this.
Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. And the whole clan gathers round and gifts and laughter do abound. And we let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over. Happy birthday, you did not accomplish much, but you didn't die this year, I guess that's good enough.
So let's drink to your fading health and hope you don't remind yourself your chance of finding fame and wealth decrease with every year. Does it feel like you're doing laps and eating food and taking naps and hoping that someday perhaps your life will hold some cheer? Happy birthday! What have you done that matters? Happy birthday! You're starting to get fatter. Happy birthday! It's downhill from now on. Try not to remind yourself your best years are all gone.
If cryogenics were all free, then you could live like Walt Disney and live for all eternity inside a block of ice. But instead your time is set, this is the only life you get. And though it hasn't ended yet, sometimes you wish it might. Happy birthday! You wish you had more money. Happy birthday! Your life's so sad it's funny. Happy birthday! How much more can you take? But your friends are hungry, so just cut the stupid cake. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Bill, Stanley, good
Frank,
Skippy, the Dickie, and Bob.
Starts with
when the weather is
nice, you know.
We're back in the studio with Jolana Pettifer. Happy birthday, Jamie, by the way. And we're with Jolana Pettifer of Jolana's Exceptional Home Decor. This is our decorating week here on Fresh. We're talking about Christmas decorating because if we wait till the third Wednesday in December, you're way behind, and
you're
you should
putting it up and you're taking it down.
Exactly. Right? And I know there's people that do that. I know one family in the neighborhood where Terry, if you're listening, they get the Christmas tree up the week before Christmas, and Christmas Day night, it's down.
Really?
And you would never have known that Christmas even happened.
Wow.
Me, I put my Christmas tree lock, stock, and barrel. Okay, except the decorations, all lights and everything standing in the cold room. I don't use the cold room anyway.
Our very first house today, right after the show.
Decorating for Christmas?
Yeah, just the railings to start.
Okay, well, you decorated a house already for the home tour.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that was awesome.
Do you think the family that you decorated for this year, they're going to keep it up until Christmas, or do you think they'll tone it down a bit and then redo what you did?
No. They're going to keep it up. And in fact, I told them this is the year you are going to have every friend, every family member that you can think of, and just have a great weekend every weekend until Christmas. So
just to enjoy and appreciate all the
and some
decorations.
of the rooms we did a little more sort of winter theme, so Jane can actually keep them up until first week in February if she wants to, because it does not look
Christmassy.
Christmassy. Some areas do, but in some areas we kept it a little bit, a little more classic. And that way you can enjoy it for a lot longer. Yeah.
Isn't that a nice idea? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we actually wanted to start doing some decorations now, every year, December 25th falls on December 25th. So it shouldn't be a surprise. However, for me, every year, I get down to the last 2 weeks and go, oh my goodness. And every day I'm wrapping and every day I'm decorating and every day I'm doing something. And by the time Christmas Day comes, Boxing Day, I literally feel like a wrung out sponge. No. I've just got nothing left. No. And every year I say I'm going to do it differently. Yeah. And I don't seem to. So I would like to start with a few things now so that I'm not in that panic by Christmas.
Yeah. So what I tend to say to my clients is don't try and do everything all in one day. Because number one, that's very frustrating. Number two, it's exhausting. And number three, by the end of that day, you're not even going to really enjoy what you've done. So it's almost better to do it in stages if you can. So for example, why not start with your front entrance? Why not start with the railings if you're going to choose to do railings? Most front entrances will have a credenza or a little sideboard or something at the front. Do a little something on that. So that is really easy. A powder room. Super easy to do. So you're just adding little bits of touches before you're actually going to get into the full-on main areas, like the family room, like the kitchen, and living rooms. Now, today I find most people prefer to go a little more minimalistic in the living room because our living rooms don't seem to get used like they did years and years and years
It's almost
ago.
like a show place. Okay.
So,
well, it's funny that you just mentioned the powder room because one of the questions that I received from a listener named Debbie is that she has a powder room with a gray tile floor, peach sink, peach toilet, so like 1970s plus. And how do you make those colors look Christmassy? Do you introduce new colors or do you just forget about it?
No. So, okay, what I would probably say in that case, there's some pretty amazing wreaths that are available out in the market right now. And if you do something that has the green with almost that wintry, the white flocking on it. Yes. So it'll look like snow has kind of touched it. So what the snow effect does, it kind of tones down the green. Okay. And it'll make those peaches and the greens, I can't remember what else you said, and the grays, it tends to kind of make them a little bit softer. Then what you can do is you can still use a variation of a red and a green, but have the softer color. So it's almost like a rosy red, almost like the old style green. So again, it'll just work really, really nicely with what you have in the bathroom.
So you would hang a wreath in a bathroom?
Sure you can. Absolutely. 100% you can do that. And today with the 3M strips, friend, like you can actually put it on your wall. No need for nails. Do what you want it to do and take it down by just pulling that strip so there are no marks on your walls.
That's so neat.
Using colors like a copper. I love using coppers. I use copper in almost all of the homes that I do. So again, the peaches, the grays, that copper color kind of bridges those very harsh reds and greens, the vibrant ones. And in a bathroom, you just do a beautiful big bow. You know how I love to do the bows, so I'll make sure I teach you this year how to do it. You don't need to put a lot of stuff on the wreath. It's just, the big bow, the wreath, and then I would choose some kind of a ribbon how you would actually hang it, so that becomes part of the decor. Candles are always lovely in a bathroom too. So
That's
if
true.
you can, get a great little, it depends if you have a countertop or not. Some people just have the sink. Some people have a vanity. That's another lovely way to bring in just that little bit of extra, nice Christmassy feeling. You can have a little wreath that goes around your candles. Today, there's also the battery operated one. So if you're afraid to leave a lit candle, there's some lovely, lovely options for that as well.
I could see that being really neat because lots of times it's a bit daunting, especially when you're in an unfamiliar house, if you're a guest, walking into a dark space. Yeah. So if the space was lit by either a real candle, okay, Jennifer Cooper listening from the fire department, we won't use a real candle. So a fake candle,
And
but
they're
it's actually that little
lights.
flickering
Yeah, you know which
element
one I
to
mean,
it.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
And then to
You
have
can
that
even
in the
set them
bathroom,
on
it's like a
timers.
nightlight.
Well, it is. And you can set them on timers so they come on every night at 5 o'clock and they turn off at 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's a good idea,
Yeah,
too.
and with the batteries today, they last a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And with the LED lights, they don't seem to take quite as much as well. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and let's go back to the front door. We've been in the bathroom now. So you come home, you have to really go fast. So you go in, use the bathroom now, go back out. Mm-hmm. What about those urns on either side of the front door or just one or?
If it's a more classic home where your door is centered within the front of the house, then 2 always looks beautiful. Always does. If it's a more modern home like yours, Bren, like you can think outside the box. You can still do 2, but you don't have to. You can make one bigger one to make more of a statement. And I always still love hanging a wreath on the door. So it can be a round wreath. It can be a square wreath. It can be 2 wreaths joined together to create length. So some of these doors today are 9 feet high. So,
Yes.
right? So hanging a single wreath almost looks silly. So if you want to add that length, that's a really, really nice way to create that wow factor. Right. Again, the very, very traditional classic Christmas is taking those beautiful garlands and roping them right around your front door entrance system. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful classic way to decorate. You don't have to put lots of stuff into the garland. Just simply putting some nice outdoor bows in strategic places. Again, you don't need to do a lot. And urns, if you were lucky enough to go on the Christmas tour, there was just a great selection of styles. So some were very earthy, some were very outdoorish. Others incorporated, big round orbs within them and then candles within that. So you can actually have a lot of wow factor with what you actually put into your urns.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And online, goodness sakes, go and
look for some ideas.
Yeah, Google it. If you don't have a creative imagination yourself, there are some fantastic, fantastic examples. And I promise you, as you start looking through it, you don't get confused because you are going to right away be drawn to certain looks.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've come inside the front door now. You take your boots off.
Yep.
Hopefully you take your boots off. Note to my children, take your boots off.
Dear.
What do you do with the railing? Now, I've seen applications from just people wrapping tooling around to wrapping really nice garlands, but the best one seems to be the ones that are a little more full with both. So how do we do that?
So railings, again, you have to be really careful to make sure that the railing is accessible. So if you are using it to put your hand on it, the last thing I want you to do is to put something on top of the railing. I've seen that done so many times, and that's just an accident
Waiting
ready
to happen.
Yeah. So we like to use a chartreuse colored ribbon, which is sort of like a greenish color ribbon, and it's just very opaque. So you almost don't register that it's there. That is how you would tie on your garland.
Oh, so you wrap that around the railing?
So that would actually get tied onto the railing. So
to each of the
you just
rungs.
see a little
I'm dumbing it down here because
strip.
I'm trying to understand myself.
Yeah.
You know me, I have a hard time visualizing things, and this is radio. I look great on the radio, don't I?
What we'll make sure we do is we'll send you over some pictures of Christmas railings that we have done.
Okay.
So that you can
But
kinda
maybe in
see
the baby
how we
stage.
attach it.
So you tie this ribbon
Yeah, so you start
around
with
the
your
rung?
garland. You start with your garland. You're going
Okay.
to probably have a green garland of some sort.
Right.
Whether it's a really fancy one or the artificial ones that are just very basic.
Do they come in lengths?
They do. They're all Canadian Tire, Home Sense. Everyone has garlands from the garden centers and beyond.
Okay.
I typically do not recommend live garlands inside the house because they dry out very quickly. Now, if you're Terry and you put it up, 5 days before Christmas and take it down Christmas Day, you can 100% use a live garland. But
It's a lot of work for a couple of days.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the fake garland also, in my mind, when I'm thinking about it, would be more malleable. It would be easier to
It is.
bend it
It is.
and wrap it a little bit if you wanted to.
Yeah, and
or-
I never wrap it over the railing. So if
Never.
you're picturing
Okay.
it going over the railing, if it's a main floor and you don't have to use the railing to go up or down the stairs, then absolutely you can wrap it around. This is if you actually need to make sure for the safety factor when
That you
you're
have a
hanging-
railing
that you
available.
have a railing. Like at the house we did for the Christmas tour this year, the majority of the railing was on the main floor. So in that case, we actually went up and over, down under, back over again. There was still lots of railing to hang on to, but this was at the top of the stairs. So
Right.
it wasn't so much like a safety issue. Usually I like it to have a little bit of a swag to it. So
Okay,
as
so
you
you
put
want
it
it to
on, so you'd go
arc
every,
down a
let's
bit.
say 15 rungs and you'd put
Droop
another, you'd put another tie.
So it doesn't have to have a tie on each rung.
Oh no. Like, so you
So
would-
every second one, every third one,
no,
you
even
have the droop
like
down?
every 10 or 15th one. Like it depends how
Depends
much
how
of,
wide they
yeah.
are, 'cause
And-
mine are
and
not-
some staircases are very narrow. Some are really huge. So you're also going to base it based on proportion of your staircase.
Okay.
So once you've got the basic garland on, then if you have listened to us other years, we've had you put away all your items and marked. So you're going to pull out the garland box
That says garland
that says
on it.
garland, and you're going to start taking those beautiful magnolia leaves or
I'm laughing
florals.
because I'm saying note to self. Make sure you write that next year.
Oh, Brenda. And you just start putting your leaves and your flowers in strategic places. Usually I like to start where I've done the actual tie and work my way down. So you don't have to have
Okay.
something covering the entire garland, but it looks really nice. So that's if you want to get really fancy and you want to start putting lots of things in, flowers, fruit, whatever. Everyone's different with what they like to put in their garlands.
Okay.
If you want to go just really simple, taking a beautiful ribbon and just putting a bow everywhere where you've actually attached it to the railing portion, it can be as simple as that. So,
And you don't
And
have
I'll
to
send you
stick
pictures
with
again.
with what I would consider traditional, like a red velvet bow, if that's kind of
no,
not the feel of
absolutely
your
not.
house. So
you
if you
kind
had,
of have to think of your theme,
yeah,
right?
and if you have a
Yeah.
really country kind of house, maybe
Go
those
great stripe. You know what? The linen,
Stripes,
the red
yes.
and linen stripe ones. They're gorgeous in a country
yeah,
home.
or I've seen a plaid bow
Sure you can.
that was just fantastic. And you know, on the spool of ribbon, I was kind of looking at it thinking, and
What am I
what
gonna
would
do with
one
this?
ever use this for? And then when I saw the picture, someone was smart enough to have put a laminated picture on the end of this display of ribbon. I thought, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
I've
sure.
never seen that. And it was the ribbon with the wire through it on the
Yeah,
on
so
the
you can
edges.
manipulate it again.
I
Yeah,
find that works
yeah.
really well
It
for me
does.
because I guess it's for the people who really don't have the bow tying ability.
Yeah.
It just makes it a little bit easier to position it, I would say.
It does. And then the other thing we will quite often use as well is I've brought them other years, but they're the very long sashes. They're about 10 inches wide and they would be approximately 8 feet long. So
Oh.
we take those and create the wow bows. And
Oh, you tie that into a bow?
We tie it into a bow.
Oh
So
my
there's multiple
goodness.
loops, which is what makes it look really pretty. So again, depending on your theme, depending on how much work and effort you want to put into it, depending on how creative one is, you can create the feel that you want to create. And there is no right or wrong answer. It's
Right.
what's right for you. Don't worry about everyone else.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. You're listening to Freshwaves on Whistle FM. We have Jolana Pettifer in the studio this morning. We're talking about Christmas decorating. And I know some of you are saying, I don't even want to hear it. We just finished with Remembrance Day and now everything is Christmas, Christmas. We're doing this as a service to the community and to our listeners because you need to start thinking about this right now. Start collecting your things. Go downstairs, find that cardboard box and write garland on it and get ready.
And pull out only your favorite items.
The stuff that you don't want. It's really good. This is a nice time of year to get it over to the care and share or the thrift store, whichever is closest to you. Give it to a charity organization because your decorations that seem old to you, you do only use them once a year. They're probably in pristine shape and they'll be new and exciting to someone else.
Absolutely.
And when you buy something at the care and share or the thrift store, that money is going towards doing some really amazing things in the community, some fabulous charity work. So don't be afraid to go there and check out what they have. And while you're at it, think of a new theme for this year, right?
Sure.
Trade in last year's theme that you have for someone else's theme. That's a good thing. We're going to pay a few bills and hear a bit of music. We're going to hear a song written by a friend of mine, Wayne Rutledge, and he is a songwriter extraordinaire, young local kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore. None of us are kids anymore, but young local guy. And he really nailed a great Christmas feeling with this song. One of my favorites. Take a listen. It's called Christmas Time Again by Wayne Rutledge. You're listening to Fresh Waves on Whistle FM. We'll be back with Jolana right after this.
From home, driving through the snow, thinking about the ones I love, they're waiting up, I know. It's Christmas time again, family and friends, down familiar streets, the house now just round the bend. Silent night, peaceful night, around the world, all is quiet. It's Christmas time. All the lights are on, the fire nice and warm, stockings hung by children longing for the early morn, and turning in the lane, home and safe again, walking through the snow beneath the stars overhead. Silent night, peaceful night, around the world, all is quiet. It's Christmas time again. With every year gone by, we start new once again. A time of love and peace on earth, hope for the family of man. Wreath on the door, like all years before. Ring the bell, wait a moment, knowing what's in store. The door thrown open wide, everyone's inside, stepping into open arms I've known all my life.